One thing I'm really coming to look at the moment is, and value, is acceptance of other people and where they're at, and also with myself. Acceptance in general, and trust in the process of every man and woman. We presume a lot of what and how things need to be, because we have a very convincing story going on in our heads. Very convincing. So convincing that we are willing to torture ourselves with it in order to embed it within the heads and souls of other people. We want to dictate how people live their lives, and well, we do that because we want the best for them, and we feel that our way is the best way until we figure out that it's not. It's until the moment that we figure out that the story that we've been telling ourselves is the very thing that's causing us pain and holding us from our freedom. Yet, we go around our whole lives telling people that story until we figure out the harm that it actually does. If anyone's ever willing to embody it. But rarely do people. Well, that depends. But essentially, who are we to dictate people's lives? What do we really know outside of ourselves? We barely know what's going on inside of ourselves. We tell other people to run along the path while we're stumbling across it ourselves, without even realizing that the paths are two different directions. We try to break into people so that we can change them from the outside in. The true change always comes from the inside. But you can't force change upon another person without having them sacrifice who they really are. By trying to force someone to change, you're denying their authenticity, their uniqueness. You can't tell people what to do. Because if they did what you did, that wouldn't be true to them. It wouldn't be real. It wouldn't be substantial. It would be an illusion. It'd be a replication of a story that does not serve that individual necessarily. Maybe in a way it does. But it only serves to the it only serves as much as it harms. Stories cause the problems for us. They stop us from just being and allowing ourselves to just be the space to experience what we're experiencing without putting a layer over it and boxing ourselves in and assuming that this is how it functions. Because we don't know how it functions. We only assume to know how it functions in order to create some sort of certainty and comfort within ourselves. And then once we have that well established, we force that onto other people, and if people don't exemplify that, then we get upset and we frustrate ourselves and we torture ourselves with the image and the story that we hold because other people don't agree with it. Think of how much more freeing it would be if we just let it go and just accepted that people need to unfold in their own way, in their own unique way, and maybe come to uncover what it is that you understand, but in their own way, in a way that maybe they could offer a new perspective of what you already know and further develop and confirm and understanding what's really true in this world. Because at the end of the day, we don't know what's going on. We have an assumption, and maybe there are some of us that do know what's going on, but how could we even tell when there's so many false stories going around? So we need to be honest with ourselves and just let things happen. And realize that maybe what I'm trying to offer you wouldn't serve you as much as it serves me. Because at the very least, if it doesn't, then at least you got a great story to tell.